In this video I'm going to show you how to flash the standard emulator V7. Once you get your emulator, it looks like this. You've probably attached it to a steering wheel. If you haven't, or you remove the steering wheel, you can get to the USB plug down in the bottom there, but it is quite awkward. If you want to, very carefully just insert a USB cable in there, but as I say, this one's rather tight, but it does go in just. The preferred way of doing it, even if you've got a steering wheel still attached, is to remove the emulator part from the casing, and then we can easily get to it to flash it. Using a Torx T10 driver, insert into these bolts here. I'm going to use an electric driver just to speed it up. So we undo all four of these bolts, being very careful not to damage the pins. Once those are all undone, that will just pull away. There's no wires or anything connecting it. You can leave those bolts sitting in, and then take your USB cable and insert it in like so. Nice and straightforward. And then you can flash on the PC using the software. So now we've got our emulator connected to USB, and we're running the SRM flashing tool. We can see the three different sorts of boards that we can flash. At the moment we're just doing the emulator V7. Click on there and you'll see the initial firmware 1.1 is on the board, and we've got the option at the moment of flashing to 1.3. You can drop down the list in case there are more options. Click on flash and you will then get a confirmation dialog box, which you click on OK. Now what it's doing is it's uploading the software, the new firmware, to the emulator. This shows the progress bar. It doesn't take long, but that is just uploading. The next stage after this is it's going to install the software onto the emulator. Now this can take up to 2 minutes, but you'll see the bar moving, so you just wait till it's done. I'll just keep quiet while that gets going. Once it's completed, the board will reboot and you should see the correct firmware appear up above. There it is, 1.3. If I disconnect and then reconnect to the board, again, you can just check to make sure that it's okay. If you see something like this, then it might be necessary to disconnect the board first and then reconnect it. And reconnect it here. Sometimes it likes the USB to be refreshed. But there we go. You've now updated the firmware on your emulator V7. It's exactly the same process on the add-on board, and the conversion kit, if you're looking at that, is similar, but the same buttons to push. Thank you. And then you can flash on the PC using the software. Once you've finished, carefully remove the USB cable, put that to one side, and then we just reverse the process of fitting it on here. So we'll see there's a bolt at the top, just line up there so that it's looking like that. So that's the top there. And then I suggest just doing up all of the bolts very lightly to start with, to make sure they're all in place and it's not moving around. And then again, I'm going to use the electric one, just tighten them up They don't need to be very tight, just until it stops moving. Remember that this is just plastic, so if you try and over tighten it, you will damage it. But just be very careful all the time not to damage your pins. And that's done. Now you're updated.